Imagine a young woman concocting skincare creams in her kitchen with no business training, no financial backing, and no one to guide her. She's driven by a single unwavering belief that she can help women feel more powerful, more beautiful, and more in control of their lives. Does this sound like a familiar story? Because it's certainly a story I know well. I've seen it thousands of times in our own community at Formula Botanica, the online organic cosmetic formulation school. So in this story, this woman is determined and she's driven and she wants to make the world a better place. And now imagine that this woman, this same woman, armed with little more than that sheer determination, goes on to build one of the world's most iconic beauty brands. That's the story of Elizabeth Arden. And it's easy to ask what Elizabeth Arden's story has to do with today's beauty brand founders, but the answer is quite a lot, actually. And in fact, the more I explored her legacy in my recent interview with Stacey Cordery, author of Becoming Elizabeth Arden, make sure you listen to that podcast episode if you haven't heard it already because it was released last week. Anyway, the more I explored Elizabeth Arden's legacy, the more I realized just how much she embodies that indie beauty spirit that we see flourishing today. Elizabeth was, in so many ways, the original indie beauty entrepreneur. So today, I want to do something I love doing, and I want to delve back into the history books to draw parallels with today's beauty industry. Let's run through the lessons that Elizabeth Arden's story can teach the indie beauty entrepreneurs of today. Hi, it's Lorraine Dallmeier, chartered environmentalist, biologist, and CEO of award-winning online organic cosmetic formulation school, Formula Botanica. I host the Green Beauty Conversations podcast, and these are my green beauty opinions, in which I challenge the beauty industry's terrible track record on sustainability and share my thoughts on how we can make the beauty sector a better and more sustainable place. If you want to be the first to hear all of my latest episodes, make sure you subscribe to this podcast. So, what lessons can we draw from Elizabeth Arden's incredible legacy? I'm going to run through a handful of them to show you how the indie beauty sector can learn from this pioneer in beauty. Lesson 1 is that you should build an indie beauty brand based on purpose, not only profit. And Elizabeth Arden didn't start her brand because she saw just a business opportunity. She started it because she believed that beauty could empower women. And she was passionate about helping women feel confident. She built her brand with that mission at its very core. So for today's indie beauty founders, purpose-driven entrepreneurship is more important than ever. We talk about it all the time, and here on the podcast too. Beauty brands should have a mission that goes beyond profit. It has to have a purpose that resonates with customers and gives them a reason to trust and support the business. Lesson 2 is to commit to quality and integrity. Elizabeth Arden's unwavering commitment to quality set her apart because at that time, when there was little to no regulation in cosmetics, she ensured that her products met the highest standards, going as far as collaborating with the American Medical Association to prove her formula's safety. Today, customers are more discerning. We know this. We talk about it here all the time on the podcast. Customers demand transparency. They demand quality, especially in the indie sector. And this lesson, it's timeless. Build trust by prioritizing quality and integrity in everything you create. Lesson 3 is to embrace resilience and perseverance. So as we heard last week, Elizabeth Arden's journey wasn't without obstacles. She faced challenges in her personal life. She faced tough competition. She faced societal expectations. But her resilience kept her moving forward. And as a founder, resilience is essential. There will be setbacks in any business, but holding on to your values and staying true to your vision can help you build a brand that endures. Lesson 4 is that education and customer loyalty go hand in hand. And one of Elizabeth Arden's secrets to success was her commitment to educating her customers. She taught them how to use her products to enhance their confidence and well-being. Stacey talked about this last week. And this focus on education not only helped her customers get the most from her products, but it also built loyalty. But loyalty goes both ways, because as Stacey told me in the interview last week, Elizabeth Arden's understanding of loyalty was that she was loyal to the customers first and foremost. Now, today, indie beauty brands can create lasting relationships with customers by being educators as well, by sharing knowledge, empowering customers, and by building trust through transparency. Lesson number 5 is to innovate, but stay true to your values. So Elizabeth Arden wasn't afraid to innovate. She introduced color cosmetics in a time when makeup was frowned upon. She brought new technologies into her business. She embraced change, but she stayed true to her vision of empowering women, and she never sacrificed her values for trends. For today's indie founders, innovation is key, but the challenge is to stay grounded in your core mission as you grow and adapt. Lesson number 6 is to think holistically about beauty. And I love that Elizabeth Arden's approach to beauty was holistic. She was so far ahead of her time because she believed that beauty was more than skin deep, and she focused on wellness, on exercise, on mental health, on self-care, long before these concepts were mainstream. Indie beauty brands can learn from this by embracing a broader view of beauty that promotes wellness and self-empowerment, values that really resonate deeply with today's conscious consumers. Lesson number 7 is to dare to challenge industry norms. And we talk about this all the time here on the podcast. Elizabeth Arden wasn't afraid to challenge societal expectations by introducing women to skincare and makeup when it was unconventional to do so. And for indie beauty founders today, challenging norms can be powerful. Whether it's redefining beauty standards or championing sustainable practices, stay brave and break the mold, because this can set a brand apart. Lesson number 8, the final lesson, is to create a lasting impact that goes beyond products. Elizabeth Arden's legacy isn't just about the products she made and sold. It's about how she changed perceptions of beauty and empowered women. And we heard last week that this impact continues to resonate today, long after she's now gone. And for indie beauty founders, success isn't only measured in sales. It's about the positive impact that your brand can have, just like Elizabeth Arden, whether it's building a community, promoting wellness, or inspiring confidence in your customers. I encourage you to aim for a legacy that reflects your values and makes a difference if this is something that you're trying to do. So my challenge to you for this week is to look at the beauty industry through Elizabeth Arden's lens, just like I've done in this podcast. Are the beauty brands that you're buying from, or is the beauty brand that you want to create staying true to your values? I think we should all channel a little bit of Elizabeth Arden into the beauty industry whenever we can. After all, indie beauty is about more than profits. It's about heart, it's about integrity, and it's about the courage to do things differently. Thank you for listening to my Green Beauty Opinions. Remember to visit the Formula Botanica website at formulabotanica.com to try our free online formulation course. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the Green Beauty Conversations podcast, please make sure you do so now in your favorite podcast app. Leave me a 5-star review if you enjoy the conversations I host, and I'll be back soon with my next episode.